This
is part 2
will be on
of the reading.
Chad Aaron Boseman and Jack Roosevelt Robinson. These two men are the same soul. In this reading, I will talk about the life of this soul and why he chose to reincarnate. Soul, if you ever want to know someone's character, all you have to do is look into their eyes and you could see their soul. And he was very advanced and he was ahead of his time as Jackie Robinson. And even as Chadwick Boseman, he was ahead of his time. He did everything ahead, everything fast, because he died so young. Okay? So Chadwick chose to die at 43 because all of his lessons were learned. He lived a fulfilling life. He enlightened, elevated, and uplifted the masses. He lived in the light. He truthfully was an earth angel. He always paid homage to our ancestors. This is why Chadwick played Jackie Robinson, because he was a leader that broke barriers. This is why he played Thurgood Marshall, because he didn't like the injustices that were going on with Black people. He wanted the truth to be known. This is why he played James Brown, to cross over in the arts with music, to instill, entertain, bring joy, and enlighten. And because he was abusive of power, notice how he played a character. James Brown was somewhat abusive in his power. And he went on to his struggles. So he played that character too and got to see through James Brown's eyes. Okay? And this is why in each lifetime he was a hero, just like he played in the Black Panther movie. He was a hero when he was Jackie Robinson. So even in art imitated his life and he lived in his truth. So as Jackie Robinson, he was on the earth then to be brave, to have courage, to show people, especially Black people, that we can be and do anything, that we could go against the grain in these structural paradigms that have been set up to hold us back. But he didn't do that. He played the game and he played it well. And because Jackie Robinson is a team player, he wanted to reincarnate to finish out his lessons that he had not learned. So when he came back as Chadwick. He came to instill promise to our youth. This is why he gave that speech at Howard University when he received his honorary degree. And he told the audience to live in your purpose. He truthfully lived in his purpose. He lived his life on purpose. He lived his life following his life path of a number 9. Chadwick had a life path number of a 9. This is a number for humanitarianism. Number 9s are here to serve humanity, to have unconditional love and compassion and kindness for the earth. Okay? If you notice, he really wanted to bring goodwill on the earth. He really wanted peace on earth and goodwill toward men. That's what life path number 9s want. And that's what he did as a number 9 as Chadwick Boseman. You see, a 7 and a 9 life path are relatively closely similar in what their goal is to do. And that is to inspire and to spread love and light on the planet. And that's what he did as both of these people. Same soul, just two different bodies. A very, very old soul who was here to elevate, uplift, and enlighten. Elevate, uplift, and enlighten. Okay? So, Jackie Robinson may have reincarnated 4 years later so that he can complete his lessons. Notice how the Jackie Robinson Day was celebrated always on August 15th. But because of COVID, the schedule had to be rearranged and changed to August 28th. The universe does not make coincidences. This was all planned before reincarnation. And so he died on the day, Chadwick Boseman, that Jackie Robinson was being observed and acknowledged and praised. And this is where I go back to saying that Jackie Robinson was like to play games, a little facetious, a little cheeky. He stayed on Earth to be acknowledged, but died that day as Chadwick Boseman. And so I want to say that this is a very powerful old soul. He knew what he wanted and he went after it as Jackie Robinson and as Chadwick Boseman. He had a plan and he followed his purpose. And this is what his soul is teaching us to do. He is teaching us as people that while we're here on earth, we need to live out our life purpose. All of us have a purpose in life. Whether you are to be a writer, an author, a singer, a dancer, if you are here to be a counselor, you need to live out your purpose, is what he is saying. Because Jackie Robinson didn't believe in being on earth and wasting time. He wanted to lift up his sleeves like he did in sports, show his elbows, and get down and dirty in that dirt and spread love and light. And that's what he did. He did not waste time. Dr. King said, if a man isn't ready to die, then he isn't fit to live. That's how Jackie Robinson felt, and that's what he's telling me right now. That's not even in my notes when I did the reading. He's telling me that right now. And what he's saying is, if you're going to live your life on earth, live your best life. He did it in both lifetimes. And Chadwick lived his best life. Jackie Robinson lived his best life. And that's what we can take away from this message here. Okay? This is a very powerful soul. Each lifetime, he lived both as Jackie and as Chadwick. And he chose to die young. Okay? He is an elevated soul. He worked for humanity to inspire and uplift. As Jackie Robinson, he had to be courageous and brave. He had to take the licks on his chin of the abuse at the time to clear out his karmic debt of a 19, which was abuse of power. In that lifetime, as Jackie Robinson, he did that. He got rid of his debt. But he wanted to reincarnate as Chadwick to learn the lessons that he needed to learn of a 6 and a 7. Okay? And there's something about the way Jackie Robinson died. He died of a heart attack. He didn't like it. It was too quick. It was fast. It was sudden. And he felt like he didn't get to learn his lesson. He did not want to reincarnate. He didn't want to come back here. But like I said, he's a good sport. No pun intended. He's a team player for the universe. And he came right back. He didn't take long. He came right back. He died of a heart attack. And, I feel like when you die of a heart attack, it's very, very sad. Like you were sad and you had some heartache, some heartbreak, some trauma. My father died of a heart attack. It's very disheartening, And so because he died suddenly, as Jackie Robinson, he was not happy about that. And so in this lifetime as Chadwick, he had to learn his karmic lessons that he did not learn as Jackie. Okay? This time, he learned the lessons as Chadwick, and he enlightened and he uplifted the masses. His goal was to serve humanity, and he did it well. And this is why he died young. I want to thank Chadwick Boseman for uplifting, enlightening, being a light worker, being an advanced soul, and for what he did to elevate mankind. I cried deeply when he died, as if I lost a brother. But now his soul came to me and let me know that he was Jackie Robinson, and that he had a hard life as Jackie Robinson, but he enjoyed playing the game, boy. He said, I enjoyed it, is what he's saying. And he enjoyed being Chadwick Boseman as well. He enjoyed the characters he got to play. And he really lived his life, okay, on both ends. So thank you very much for listening, and sending you love and light always.